2 years ago in the spring, John was blinded by anhydrous ammonia. The accident forever changed his life and the lives of his family.
I've been in the fertilizer and chemical business for 10 to 11 years, and through all that time, I worked with anhydrous, and after 10 or 11 years, you get into a rut, and safety is secondary to speed. Through the years that I was in fertilizer business, we had a lot of safety meetings. Especially with one company, the first company I was with, we had safety meetings probably 4 times a year, and it discussed everything from farm chemicals to gasoline. Anhydrous is one of the most dangerous chemicals there is, and a lot of people really don't stop and think how bad it is, what it can do to you, what it can do to anything that uses water to live. Is anhydrous's best friend, because it will go to the water. And I don't think people sit back and really realize what it will do to them. The end result, as far as the damage that was done, it left me totally blind for a year. And the only reason I'm not totally blind now, my vision now is shadows. I can see to get around. I fall off of curbs because there is no depth perception. And the only reason I got what sight I have back is over the course of the past 2 years, I've had 4 cornea transplants, which is replacing the front of the eye. I've had glaucoma surgery twice, which controls the pressure, so I try to keep from damaging the retina. I've had my eyelids sewed together twice in order to try to get them to heal underneath. And does most of the operations that I've been through, but it's been expensive, a lot of time, and a lot of mental anguish. But I'm been told that as far as driving again, that will never happen. As far as being able to pick up the newspaper and read again, that will never happen. As far as pain is concerned, I live with it every day. They have not quit hurting since the accident. I probably take more pain pills and aspirins in a month than most people take in 5 years. And as far as controlling it, there's nothing anybody can do to control it. It's just something that I have to learn to live with. As far as the pain when you get burnt with anhydrous, I can't even describe it to you. At this point in time, what I'm going through is constant checkups, constant fear of losing what sight they have given back to me. All I have to do is let my eye pressure get just a little high, and my eyesight will be gone again. It's day to day if I'm going to have the sight or not going to have the sight.
Dr. Michael Versakis, medical specialist in diseases of the eye, will help us understand why anhydrous is so damaging.
Anhydrous ammonia has a powerful affinity for water. The chemical combines with water to form a potent and deadly combination. The tears in the eyes represent a ready source of water. Anhydrous ammonia is usually a liquid under standard agricultural conditions. This liquid is usually under pressure. This also forms a serious and blinding combination because it can quickly propel the chemical into the inside of the eye where it does most of its damage. Once the chemical is inside the eye, no amount of flushing will get it out. Once the chemical is inside the eye, serious visual damage or blindness usually results.
In John's case, Damage to his right eye is irreversible. No sight remains. All he sees with his left eye is shadowy images.
Thank you.
This is my wife, Marge. I should say my better half. She's been the one that's really got me through about 99% of what I've been through in the past 2 years. She's my eyes when we're driving down the road. If I hear something or the kids see something, she describes it to me.
Times that John felt pity for himself was like on a day he would ask to be taken out to the co-op. And then he'd come home and he'd feel really down because he wanted to go to work and couldn't. Says, oh gee, the fellas are going into the fields, they're gonna start fertilizing, and sure wish I could go. There's been days like that.
Right after the accident happened, and probably for the first year and a half, I really felt like I did lose some dignity. I felt like I wasn't close to the person that I was before. I figured without eyesight was without about everything. On the day that I had my accident, it was very hot, very humid day, bright sunshine, just a real pleasant day. It was another day in the life of a fertilizer man. Leading up to the accident was mainly a phone call into the plant explaining that the machine was not applying the proper amount of ammonia and that they were not sure what to do to get the problem rectified. And so, in order to get them going again, I went out to clean the screen, which is back behind on the supply line, to get them back in the field. I've had the screen out of probably 500 nitrolators in the time that I've been in the fertilizer business. You're constantly cleaning them, especially if you have an older set of ammonia tanks, because they do get rust on the inside. When the ammonia hit my eyes, the biggest thing I felt was fear. You're standing there in pain that I don't even know how to describe. You can't see. You know you need water. Where is the water? It's just, everything flashes through your mind real fast. The water was, as far as I can remember, probably 30 feet away. It was a hydrant. And I remember the farmer at the scene grabbing me by the shoulders, leading me to the water, because he said all I was screaming was water, water. And I talked to him later, and he said he just threw me down on the ground and turned the water on my face. The pain at the time when I got hit was very, very severe. It's that pain clear down into my neck, into my back. I was taken to a local hospital where a doctor examined me. At that point, they called Lincoln, Nebraska, where the St. Elizabeth Burn Center is. They sent out an airlift, picked me up and flew me into the burn center, and I was there for 11 days. A certain way I felt, yes, I am going to be blind, and in another way, I looked at it as, it's a nightmare. I'm going to wake up. This never happened. And it was about a month after my accident where he brought me in for an examination to see how the operation had went. And at that point, I asked him how I was going to come out of this deal. And he bluntly explained to me that there was a 0 to 5% chance I'd ever see again. My anger set in about the day that they told me that I wasn't going to see again. Anger was more directed toward myself than to anyone else. because the policy that I dictated at the fertilizer plant was that goggles were to be worn. And I never followed my own policy, so my anger was more self-directed. I didn't practice what I preached, and I let people down. There was people that looked up to me, or I felt that were looking up to me, to show them the right way and the wrong way to do things, and I blew it. With the hindsight that I have and the experience I have, I feel like I would fire any employee that didn't have his goggles on while handling it. If I was going to put the blame on somebody, the blame could only go to one place, and that's to me. Nobody stuck my head in front of that hose and turned the valve on to see what it'd do to me. I didn't do that either, but I was standing there without the proper equipment, and it got me. That was probably the worst week in my life. It's the first time in my life that I've been told that you ain't worth much. And it's a hard thing to live with. I was told by farmers, by employers, the guy is blind. What can he do? Rejection's hard. And it's harder when in your mind you know it ain't true. Rejection because I can't see. There's too many people in this world that think blindness is connected to brain damage. And even though the eyes are connected to the brain, I think mine still works. And that's one of the hardest parts about it is people thinking he don't have it no more. He's lost it. It went with my eyes. It's the biggest part. I can't even see my own face in the mirror. My wife and my kids. Kids are growing. And I wonder, how are they changing? It's hard. It's something I gotta live with. I hope after seeing this program that they would go home and think, and they would go home and take a good strong look at their wife, their kids, their farm, everything around them, and ask themselves, what would it be like if I didn't see that tomorrow?